if you want a tablet, but you don't want to spend over $300. I think you've got two pretty good options with the new iPad 11 and Galaxy Tab S9 FE, but which one is better? Well, let's talk about it. As far as pricing goes, both of these start around $325. The Tab S9 FE has been available since 2023, so obviously it's going to be cheaper than when it first came out. The Galaxy Tab has 6 gigabytes of RAM with 128 gigabytes of storage. You can also go up to 256 gigabytes of storage with 8 gigabytes of RAM as well. The iPad now has 6 gigabytes of RAM instead of 4, and they've doubled the storage from 64 gigabytes to 128 on the base model. You can also go up to 256, 512 gigabytes of storage as well. Both of these tablets have a 10.9-inch IPS LCD display. Even if Apple is calling it 11 inches, they're just rounding up to make it sound better. Pretty similar resolution at 1640 by 2360 for the iPad versus 1440 by 2304 for the Tab S9 FE. There's a slight advantage for the Galaxy Tab at 90 Hz refresh rate versus only 60 for the iPad. You can also see the iPad has more of a square aspect ratio versus a more widescreen look to it on the Galaxy Tab. I feel like they both look pretty good in person, but when you put them next to each other, I feel like the Galaxy Tab has slightly better viewing angles and a little better contrast compared to the iPad. It also looks like the Galaxy Tab is a little bit brighter, but overall I feel like both have pretty good screen quality considering the price. They also both have pretty nice build quality using aluminum material on all sides. When it comes to battery life, it hasn't really changed for the new iPad, so another advantage for the Galaxy Tab, considering it lasted about 7 hours versus only 5.5 hours in my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness. Obviously, there's a lot of variables when it comes to battery life, but you can get a couple days with mixed usage on both of these, especially once you turn the screen brightness down. But if you want the tablet with better battery life, you'll want to go with the Galaxy Tab. You also get 45 watt fast charging versus only 20 for the iPad. Obviously, software is going to be a little different between these two. Probably personal preference on whether you like Android or iPad OS. I like things about both, and you can do a lot of the same things regardless of which one you go with. One advantage for the Galaxy Tab is you have Samsung DeX, which is nice if you want to be a little more productive. For some reason, they don't put Stage Manager on the regular iPad 11, even though it could handle it. But one advantage for the iPad is you can connect an HDMI adapter to connect to a projector, external monitor, or TV, where you can't do that with the S9 FE. You also have the fingerprint scanner or Touch ID right on the power button, which is definitely nice to have on all tablets. Another advantage for the Galaxy Tab is you have the S Pen included, where there's an extra cost for the USB-C or first gen Apple Pencil. But these two are definitely one of the best entry-level, more affordable ways for drawing, taking notes, or just moving around the software using a pen or stylus. One big difference between these two is definitely going to be the performance. The iPad has been upgraded to the A16 chip versus Exynos 1380 for the Galaxy Tab, which you can see quite a bit difference here on the Geekbench scores. The iPad also did quite a bit better on the Wildlife Extreme 3D Mark test. Obviously, it's going to depend on what types of stuff you need to do, but you'll get better graphics and higher frame rates when gaming on the iPad, but still pretty good performance for the S9 FE in my opinion. I would say if you plan on doing video editing, you'd probably want to go with the iPad 11. Both of these have pretty good speakers. You've got one on each side, even though it looks like two for the iPad. The other one's just for looks, just like the previous iPad 10, but both of these are probably loud enough for most things, especially if you turn on Dolby Atmos for the Galaxy Tab. So I'd probably lean towards Samsung for the better speakers, but here's a quick sample of each to see if you can hear a difference. Now when it comes to tablets, I think these two are pretty good options when it comes to camera and video quality. You've got a 12 megapixel on the front, 12 megapixel on the back for the iPad versus 8 megapixel on the back for the Galaxy Tab, 12 megapixels on the front. You do have an advantage with the iPad when it comes to shooting video, at least on the back cameras, at 4K 60 frames per second versus only 1080p for the Galaxy Tab. Here's a quick sample of each just to give you an idea of what to expect. But hopefully this gave you a little closer look between these two tablets. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these. I'd probably lean slightly towards the new iPad 11 now that it has even better performance. Obviously, because the iPad's newer, you're going to get longer software updates, or you may want to wait till the new Galaxy Tab S10 FE series comes out just to see how it compares. Obviously, there's a lot of things to consider between these two. I'll definitely be doing some more comparisons with the new iPad 11, along with some other tablet videos as well. So you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.